Hi. Hello. Um, you guys, those who know about this, gotta tell you, I was questioning my ability. I was just questioning my ability. That's all there is to it. I was questioning my ability. Um, Progesterone shot went great. It went great. She said she didn't feel it. I don't know if she was just making me feel better, but I think so. She didn't flinch. And so the backstory on this, a couple weeks ago, my CEO said that her daughter from New York was going to be here over Memorial Day weekend, and could I give her progesterone shot because she's doing in vitro, and her and her husband are doing in vitro, and she's like 7 weeks pregnant, and she needs to have these shots, but she wasn't going to come visit her mom if she didn't have anyone, because she couldn't. She says, I used to give myself my you know sub-Q shots in the belly, she said, but I can't really do the one in the rear end. And so I was like nervous, and the reason that I was nervous, I think for the most part, was because it was the CEO's daughter. And I didn't, I don't know why, because I don't think I've ever given a progesterone shot. I've given testosterone shots lots of times, and it's the same makeup, it's the same thickness. Because the trickery with this shot is that and it's thick, and you have to use a larger needle. And I was like, oh, please have her not be a thin person. She was a thin person. I looked at her as we were walking in, and I'm thinking to myself, oh. But I did it. 22 gauge, 1.5 needle, and I just, boop. And like I said, I've given, at this point, thousands of shots, but because I'd never given progesterone before, I worked at Women's Health, and I gave plenty of depots there, but I wasn't working with the provider at the Women's Health that does the in vitro and all that. I worked with the midwives and stuff like that, so I did a lot of depots and stuff like that. And in the other practices I've worked, I've given lots of testosterone, lots and lots of it, and it's the same thick fluid, and you have to draw it up with an 18 gauge, and then you need a larger. There's so much resistance because it's so thick that you can't use a like 25 gauge 1 inch or whatever. You've got to use a 22 gauge. So the higher the number, the like bigger the needle is. And like she just has this little petite button. I'm like, ah. But I did it, and she switches sides, which is what they typically do. And some people stand up and take the weight off the rumpus that you're poking, or they'll lay down, and she preferred to lay down. But I don't know. I've been a medical assistant for a while now, and I've given tons of shots. I do flu clinics all the time. I give psychiatric shots. I give immunizations. I give all this stuff. Um, but like progesterone, I don't know why I always thought, because it was the same thing. I knew it would be the same thickness as like a testosterone shot, because of the base that's used in it. I knew it would be thick. I know how to give a shot in the glute. I've been doing it for a long time, but I was nervous. And so I asked the women that I know online, I said, please pray for me, because like, I don't know why I'm being so silly and foolish that I'm nervous about giving a simple shot. But I think it had a lot to do with it being the CEO's daughter. I'm like, yeah, I didn't want to like, but I was professional. Um, you don't under CDC guidelines, you do not need to glove up to give a shot, but I do. I always glove up when I give a shot. So there was no one in the office today. Um, but anyway, I gloved up, and I was very professional. And while I was drawing up the fluid in front of her, I talked to her about her life, to keep her calm, because it doesn't matter how many times you get a shot. it's kind of like, there's a little bit of anticipation. But I just praise God. I was able to just be my professional self, even though it was the CEO's daughter, and give a progesterone shot. It was spot on perfect. It couldn't have been any better. Couldn't have been any better. She said, I said, I didn't even warn you. This is while the needle was still in. She says, "What did you give it yet?" She said, "You are good." Usually I'll go 1, 2, 3, poke, and this time I just like wiped it, and I was talking to her, and I says I'm gonna feel again because I don't want to uh, put it in the lump. She had a lump from not yesterday, but the previous day from a shot because she had 10 stop. Because she has to have these shots daily, and she 10 stop, so she had a lump there. So I'm gonna feel again where the lump is, and I'm gonna do the shot right next to it. I felt again, and then I just went boop. And, I mean, it's a long needle. I mean, it's 1.5 inches. That's a long needle, and it has to go in all the way into the muscle. And I like pushed it all the way in. And because it's a thicker fluid, you still need to push. You should push a little slowish anyway. And yep, just pushed it right in, and we were golden. But anyway, praise God. Thank you for praying for me because I was just being a silly, foolish girl who was nervous over nothing. So I'm going back tomorrow at 4:30, and I'm gonna give her other shot. But she was here. She wouldn't have been able to come visit her mom because she had no one to give her a shot. And even though our CEO doesn't have medical experience, so she, she can't give it. But praise God. Anyway, thank you for praying for me, and it all went great and fine, and I'm fine to do it tomorrow. I really, really think it was because of the CEO's daughter, and I'm like, oh, but went good, and now I can relax for the night, and I'll do it tomorrow, and everything will be fine, and um, that was all done. Anyway, praise God, and I'll talk with you guys later. Bye.